What's up, everybody? We got some patch notes that just dropped in Discord, so I really wanted to go over them real quick, just because there's a lot of really good stuff in here. We already talked about the series occurring. Silver Surfer, Null, Darkhawk, and Sentry going from Series 5 to 4. Darkhawk is a really fun card. Null and Silver Surfer are pretty good cards. Sentry I'm excited to mess around with whenever I pull him. And then from Series 4 to 3, we're going to have Coulson, Maria Hill, and Helicarrier. Nothing really too crazy going to Series 3. These cards are fun, but not that powerful. But we also have some balance updates. We've got Darkhawk going from a 4-1 to a 4-0. Honestly, I think that he didn't really need a nerf. Zabu was the bigger card that needed a nerf. But, you know, just taking one power off of him isn't the biggest deal in the world. I think it's still pretty fair. Darkhawk is still going to be a very strong card in my opinion. Next up, we've got Thanos going from a 6-8 to a 6-11. Their explanation was because people play Thanos for the stones, not Thanos himself, so they made him stronger. But what I think gets lost in translation is that the stones are already incredibly powerful. And the Thanos deck that people have been kind of refining and getting closer and closer on was already really strong. This might push Thanos, like, over the top. That deck is already, I think, really good. Making this change without it changing any of the stones at all seems a bit odd to me. But we'll see how that goes. Then we've got Sandman going from a 4-1 to a 5-5, and this one's big. Because Sandman, it was meant to counter cards that play a bunch of cards on turn 5 and 6. But the 1 power was such a tempo loss that you never wanted to play Sandman ever unless maybe you could cheat him out on 3. Now it feels a lot better to even just play him on 5, and I think this is going to be the kind of buff that maybe quote-unquote curve decks need to compete with a lot of the combos that are in the game right now. I'm very excited to mess around with Sandman. I'm going to have a lot of fun with that one. Then we've got a couple buffs coming in. We've got Spider-Woman getting a 1 power buff to a 5-8, Namor getting a 1 power buff to a 4-6, and Dagger getting a 1 power buff to a 2-2. I don't really see any of those 3 buffs having major impacts, but we'll see. Yondu is getting a text update, and actually this answered my question in the comment. Yondu's text is getting changed to destroy, however, Wolverine and Colossus will be able to get destroyed, so Yondu will not trigger Wolverine. That's just, you know, noted. We got some text changes to Angela Bishop, Iron Fist, Lockjaw, and Titania. We have Sakaar. Sakaar will now trigger at the end of the turn, and that's to fix interactions with things like Wave. That makes sense. This is a big change right here. The symbiotes from Clintar changing from 1 to 4 cost. Before, obviously, if you combine a bunch of cards together, they could get hit with Killmonger or Elektra and you just lose. They'll still be susceptible to, like, Shang-Chi if you stack them all together really big, but you don't have to worry about Killmonger anymore, so that's a really big change. Speaking of big changes, right here. Right here, right here, right here. I love it, I love it, I love it. I've been dying for this. Absorbing Man can now get doubled by Wong, which means... beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to be messing around with Absorbing Man even more than I already was. That's just fantastic. I think that's the main thing. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else in here that really stood out to me. But yeah, the biggest thing that I wanted to call out outside of the buffs was the Absorbing Man change. So card change-wise, nothing too crazy. So yeah, Darkhawk, slight nerf on his way down to Series 4. He'll still be pretty strong. Thanos, very scary buff. Definitely something to keep an eye on. And Sandman, I think, is going to be a very big change for the game. That 5 power, I think, is close enough now where you can afford that tempo loss to disrupt your opponent's combos. Still might be a little bit on the weak side, but that's kind of where you want to see a card like Sandman, is you don't want it to be too playable. You just want it to be playable in the right scenarios. But yeah, that's all I got. Just wanted to go over the patch with you guys. Hope you guys are excited. I definitely am. This is all dropping today, so be ready for that. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.